Catholic Nun Sacrificed to Save Criminal Bishop. Mr. Franco Mulakkal, the Syrian Christian Bishop of Jallandhar Diocese in India, resigns. Why Pope did not disrobe or terminate Mr. Franco to save Christian faith? Why Vatican closed its eyes against truth? How many bishops and cardinals were involved to save Franco's pensionary benefits by maligning the faith Christ had built by his blood? Hi friends. Franco was arrested and tried for repeatedly raping a Catholic nun under his subordination control during the period of 2014 to 16. This Syrian Christian rapist tarnished Christianity by abuse of power of his superior position over the victim and raped her minimum 13 times. Additional Sessions Judge ASJ of Kottayam, Kerala, acquitted him without following the legality and prudence of this case and refused to believe a rape victim as required by Indian legal system. The defendant had the onus to prove the innocence by material evidence and reliable facts. In this rape case, the ASJ shamelessly and with contempt insulted all women of the world by acquitting the defendant. This detestable, abominable Jallandhar Diocese bishop wielded power, wealth, followers, henchmen, etc., surpassing that of a king of any pre-independent Indian territory. The unreasonable and biased court did not consider the religious hierarchy and unassailable nature of superiority and command of the defendant over the victim. The hapless, suffering nun, who was frightened and silenced by her weakness due to her belief pattern and dedication to the religious order, could not protest against the violence and oppression. She was summoned before the bishop whenever he wanted to rape her. The victim was 39 years and defendant 54 years at that time. The mighty wall of religion around her weakened and frightened her, and she submitted herself unwillingly. The nun and other nuns who stood with her without fear of retribution and retaliation should be praised by all the women of the world. It is real courage, the example of which one can find in the life of Jesus Christ, to whom the nuns are loyally dedicated. One of the main witnesses who testified about the first rape was terminated by Vatican. Mr. Franco Mulakkal was loaned to Latin Christian Diocese of Delhi from Syrian Christian Diocese of Tricur, Kerala, as a priest on a monthly fee that the Delhi Archdiocese pays for such manpower loans. This is a common practice in Roman Catholic, Latin as well as SC of Kerala. He indulged in nefarious ways to usurp more power and position the very moment he got foothold in Delhi Archdiocese as a less known, insignificant priest of the lowest level. He tried to gain power and recognition by encroaching into an international charitable organization in Delhi, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, the Delhi unit of which is run by local Catholic laity. Failing in this attempt, he organized other Syrian Christian priests and laity in Delhi Archdiocese, all of whom are from Kerala, and demanded half the diocesan asset, including churches and schools, from the Archbishop to create an independent SC diocese. His influence in Vatican soon made him a bishop, chopping the heads of many eligible senior priests. Legally, he is still an SC, Syrian Christian, by virtue of his birth, baptism, and confirmation in an SC church in Tricur. Let Mr. Franco belong to Syrian Rite or Latin Rite of Roman Catholic. He, as a bishop, raped a nun working under his control, misusing authority and exploiting the vulnerability of a nun in such a situation. That makes the crime more serious. The 289-page judgment of the Kottayam Kerala ASJ for reaching an acquittal verdict of the accused reads, quote, infight and rivalry and group fights of nuns and the desire for power and control over the congregation, case in which the grain and chaff are inextricably mixed up. It is impossible to separate grain from chaff. There are exaggerations and embellishments in the version of the victim. She, the rape victim, has also made every attempt to hide certain facts. It is also evident that the victim was swayed under the influence of others who had vested interest in the matter. Unquote. If such alleged hiding had occurred, does it make the rape crime absolvable? Pope can absolve sin of adultery or rape. ASJ cannot absolve a crime of rape. ASJ has not hinted about the parts hidden by the victim, and he cannot make such an unreasonable verdict. He did not say rape did not occur. Now let us analyze this crucial part of ASJ's verdict. It shows the ignorance of the ASJ of the legal system he is bound to protect, and the facts he needed to know before such a travesty of justice. 1. The rape victim was a mother, or head of a group of nuns in her convent. The position of mother is rotational among all nuns of the convent for a particular period of time, that is 3 to 5 years, and not till death or next promotion, unlike that of a clergy. Any nun of the convent can aspire for this position. One who gets the maximum vote becomes a mother for a fixed time. It is a democratic election which even most of the Catholics are ignorant of, let alone the ASJ. This is part of ASJ's main reasoning for the judgment, power and control of position. The ASJ's and the reasoning reads, evident that the victim was swayed under the influence of others who had vested interest in the matter, unquote. But he could not show any person to be benefited by the conviction of Mr. Franco. ASJ says, God cannot separate the chaff or falsehood from the grain of truth, unquote. If handicapped with inability to reasoning out, he should not be adorned in the seat of judgment. The ASJ's reasoning only shows his inability to hold a responsible position. Being a Hindu, he may not know the structure and functioning of a Catholic organization of priests and nuns and its working. Even Catholic laymen are unaware of them. If so, it is within his power to appoint and educate commissioners to study those points to help the court with his findings. It is open for anyone to know and read. Nothing is hidden. He has not mentioned the exaggeration and embellishments he saw in the victim's statement. These English words are meant to derail the Kerala public without much grasp of the language by using such words in the judgment without clearly pointing them out. The ASJ thus spreads a black sword over the reasoning for reaching the acquittal verdict. Only the statement of the raped nun itself was sufficient for conviction of Mr. Franco for the 13 rapes she was subjected to. There was another strong witness who had immediate knowledge of the rape and testified in the court without fear of reprisal and retribution. Vatican acrimoniously terminated her soon after. A shameless and contemptuous act of Vatican. It showers shame on all Catholics all over the world. The ASJ should know that in Indian legal system, the statement of a rape victim was enough for conviction if the defendant cannot convincingly disprove its occurrence. He has not done so. Even another witness was there to testify. A rape does not need physical force, especially if the victim is under the power and control of the defendant with unfathomable power. Truth is not something the EJW would like to hear. This is the second sensational rape in Kerala. Another one involves notorious cine hero Gopalakrishnan alias Dilip that revolves around the axis of money power. Defense advocate is the same in both cases. Shame on Kerala judiciary, that is the judicial wing of God's own country, Kerala, for letting this to happen in temporal proximity. A nun's body is hers only, not a toy of priest to play with. Please like my video. If not yet subscribed, please subscribe and share. Thank you. I am Edwin Williams, EJW Science Research.